What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Today I'm going to showcase some Shadow Whiscash in the Go Battle League. This Pokemon has been kind of overshadowed by Shadow Quagsire a lot recently. I mean, it kind of makes some sense, right? Quagsire has that bait attack of Aqua Tail, you have the coverage move of Stone Edge, but Whiscash is actually a little bit bulkier, and you have access to a different charge attack, which is Scald. Scald is a very efficient charge attack. It does a lot of damage. It has a debuff chance as well. Although Whiscash is a little bit slower to pacing to attacks, I still think this Pokemon has quite a bit of play. Real quick though, before we get into the battles, I want to ask if you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. Helps out quite a bit, and I'd really appreciate it. But let's get into the battles and see what Shadow Whiscash can do. Alright, first opponent of the day, Shadow Whiscash, one of my old favorites here. It has been a little bit reworked since its time in the spotlight. Honestly, kind of a neutral lead here. This might be a bad play, but I'm going to switch to Malamar. I'm hoping for no Bug Biter in the back. And no, it's not a Bug Biter, it's a Guzzlord instead, which is very playable for us to see here. I have Superpower, right? And for some reason, Psywaves actually add up quite a bit against this Pokemon. So I'm going to just get a shield advantage and put this thing down pretty low. It's not like I'm weak to that Grumpig, right? That's not why I swapped out of the lead. It's because I have better answers in the backline. Whoa! Holy crap! That does so much damage. Anyway, that I wasn't expecting a no shield on the first move. I always see the shield on the first. Now I can foul play the second one. And I don't know if they can just Brutal Swing and farm me down. We'll see. I don't know. What are they going to throw into us? Brutal Swing, yeah, okay. I might survive long enough to Psywave them down. Yeah, I force energy out of them. Malamar on this save swap. Hold on. It just got a shield advantage from the Guzzlord. I might have even been able to flip this if I wanted to, but again, I'm not that scared of the Grumpig. I wouldn't mind getting my Corviknight into it instead, but even still very fine with this. They have to land charge attacks to do any real damage to us. And, I have Scald. And Scald's a pretty good attack. It can debuff the attacks out of them. Although, they didn't nerf it, right? Is it like 30% chance now, I think? So not quite as guaranteed as the 50-50 we used to have. And they let that go, so now I can go straight for the Mud Bombs here, which is going to be good for us because obviously Mud Bomb is our cheaper attack, a little bit easier to spam out. They're going to go for the Dynamic Punch. They throw in bad timing here, which is kind of interesting. I don't know what they have in the back with this. It could be a lot of different things, right? I'm just going to throw this instantly, though, because the Corviknight Whiscash core is pretty solid. One of the few things that could be in the back that would break our duo here is an Altaria. Wouldn't love to see that, but if there is an ult in the back, so be it. We'll play it by ear. And I do have my Mud Bomb. I could try to overfarm here and see if they're going to catch or not, but I don't know if they're going to catch. They could just stay in and just sacrifice the Grumpig here. Yeah, I'm just going to go for the Mud Bomb. Likely I can get a Mud Bomb off against something in the backline if they're weak to Whiscash, or if they're not weak to Whiscash, hopefully Corviknight's good against whatever's back there. Down goes the Grumpig. Oh my goodness. Shadow Typhlosion comes in. Do we lose? I don't know if we lose to this or not. We might lose, because I don't have enough energy. Uh-oh. Because I don't know if an Air Cutter is going to knock this out. Maybe I should try to catch a move there. I still have a Thunder Punch. But I can't get a payback. Oh my goodness, we're about to lose this one. I should have overfarmed against the Grumpig. I think I could have at least done one Mud Shot. Uh-oh. Wait, please? Yes, never mind, we don't lose because Typhlosion sucks. Okay, that was very dicey. What a crazy game. What a crazy game. GG's, I guess, but wow. All right, next opponent. Hopefully a little bit more of a consistent win than that last one. That one was a little dicey, and that's a very good lead. Okay, unlosable. I'm saying that right now. Surely I can't lose this game. Gligar comes in. What the heck? It's not even on the funny moveset. They're not running Fury Cutter. I could bring in Malamar here. Is that the play? I don't know. We'll see. Scald's going to come through. It does hurt. Honestly, I'm going to bring in Malamar because I should be able to survive a lot of what they're going to throw into us here. And my Corviknight's actually pretty fine into Steelix as well. It's not amazing or anything, but it's not unplayable. And Malamar into that Steelix can go for a superpower later on, potentially. They Night Slash to try to bait us. They actually get a boost, which is really annoying. I can't believe that happened. Actually, I can. I'm really bad at avoiding boosts. Anyway, I'm going to shield this up, because I would love to keep Switch here. And I think a Dig is pretty likely. That is what they throw. Good stuff. And Shadow into Shadow. This foul play is going to hurt quite a bit. Let's see if we get a shield back, or if they're just going to sacrifice Gligar. I don't know necessarily if this knocks him out or puts him into a farm down range. I hope we get a shield. Okay, nice. Next foul play going to come through. Hopefully this gets a knockout here. I think we're outside of Night Slash range, but if they do get to another Dig, that could be kind of bad. All right, foul play is going to not quite knock out, but one Psywave should do it. So down goes Gligar. Steelix can't really come in here, but something's likely going to take a foul play or a superpower. Or not, I guess if you top left, then they don't have to, but then we just get the win. Nice. Whiscash into Shadow Ninetales, well, they could be on Energy Ball here, and that could one-shot us, which would not be great if they have that. But if they're not on Energy Ball, very good matchup. So, we'll see what they do. The fact they're staying in here kind of worries me. They catch on Azu. Okay, I'm very fine with that. In fact, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to build up some extra energy and come in with my Corviknight at some point. The worst thing about this is the switch clocks will be desynced, which will probably be in their favor. Okay, we'll swap here, try to catch like a play rough or something. We don't quite get it, but anyway, the damage that we get with our Whiscash is probably more than anything we could get with our Corviknight here anyway, and just having that much energy is likely a good play. Altari in the backline's the one Pokemon that could really wall what I can do here. Oh, Hydro Pump, okay. I mean, I don't really mind Hydro Pump coming through. It does do a lot of damage, and it will be able to two-shot us, but they have to throw a second Hydro Pump to do that. And if they want to go that route, then I think we're still fine here, because then my Malamar will be able to farm down this Azu, and then I'll have energy on Whiscash and Malamar, and as long as there's not like a really RPS backline, we should be in a good spot. But Altaria plus Ninetales could be a duo. I mean, it's pretty weak to rock-type damage. Like, I don't know if you'd actually want to run that, but you could technically. And I mean, I could also shield this to try to go for switch, but I don't know. Then they have me in a bad situation, so I'm not going to do that. Okay, Ice Beam, so not even running play rough. Good to know. We get the farm down here. Likely the Ninetales comes in. We'll see if it does, though. They're waiting for a second. That's kind of crazy. What are they doing? All right, we'll go for the combo play here. We have a lot of energy on our Whiscash, right? And at this point, it's not like the Malamar doesn't have play into the Ninetales. If I could speak, that'd be great. Anyway. Oh, whoa. Interesting. Go-Goat in the back. So it is actually kind of RPS in the back line, but the fact that I have enough energy here and that I landed that Mud Bomb, like, we might still be in a playable spot. Because Scald actually hurts quite a bit, right? Try to get a debuff if possible. Actually, getting energy out of them might be really good for us, too. They're at 7, so 2 right now. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Unfortunately for me, I think I do have to no-shield one Leaf Blade here. It could be a Brick Break as well. But, like, they have an Overheat potentially on that Ninetales, so I can't really shield anything from this Go-Goat, at least not both moves. I have to go for the farm down against everything right now, which it looks like I will be able to get. What the heck? Okay. I saw the mono grass type. I thought I was in a lot of trouble, but Whiscash actually still put in quite a bit of work into that Go-Go. 2 Scalds basically knocked that thing out, so that wasn't as bad as it could have been. All right, next opponent. Whiscash into a Stunfisk. Well, that's good. Either Stunfisk would be good here, but Ufisk especially is nice just because my Corviknight does want to avoid this. Likely they switch out, but we'll see what they bring in. Oh, they bring in a Fortress here. Very fine to see, especially because my Malamar's avoiding this. It's actually kind of interesting. This is a non-Shadow Bug Bite Fortress. Normally you see Shadow on Bug Bite, non-Shadow on Volt Switch. But I guess, you know, you can mix things up if you want to. And we get the Chip and Dip there. I would imagine they're going to go for a Rock Tomb against us to lower my attack stat, as well as get just that neutral chip damage against us. But Sand Tomb does actually make it so Bug Bites start doing 2 damage per turn. So if they wanted to do that, I wouldn't be, like, completely surprised. But no, they don't. They end up going for the Rock Tomb, like we kind of expected. And I'm actually going to go for a bit of an odd play here. I'm going to go Air Cutter, and then I'm going to go for the second Air Cutter, just to have 2 chances at an attack boost. That way I could potentially do a little bit more damage into that Ufisk later on. I don't get a boost on the first one, so if I don't get a boost on the second one, then obviously I should have just gone for a payback. But I feel like it's not a terrible play to go for this. Air Cutter number 2 comes through. They do let that go. No boost? Okay, I mean, it's like a 50% chance after 2 of those boosts, or after 2 of the Air Cutters, right, to get that, so shouldn't be too upset about it. What do I want to do here? I think it's actually double Bug Bite. Now that I'm thinking about it, I probably shouldn't have no-shielded this. Uh-oh. I should have shielded that. I think I lose this game. It's a Rockwinnid, right? Yeah, shoot. Uh-oh. Okay. This is not great. I needed to shield my Corviknight. I remember the team a little bit too late here, unfortunately. I suck. But we'll see what we can do, because I did save a little bit of my Corviknight around. And, like, they're not going to want to shield these moves. I got a debuff here. That's not bad. We'll see what happens. Another Scald's going to come through and put them down a little bit lower. But I don't know how this is going to play out, if I'm being honest. Scald once again going to come through. It puts him down pretty low. A second debuff. Thank you, Whiscash. I appreciate your service. Bubble Beam does not knock us out here. So they have to go for a bigger attack, and honestly, I think they're going to go for a Water Pulse. So I'm going to shield that up. And I'm going to force them to shield this move, or to let their Araquanid take even more damage. So, we'll see what happens. This is going to get so close, so much closer than I'd like it to. Oh, they let that go? Okay. I mean, I have a lot of, like, pieces left in play this game, but I am a little bit concerned, still. It's going to be an odd game, no matter what. Discharge. Interesting they discharge us there. I think double Mud Bomb's probably the play to guarantee a shield from us. But they don't go for that. My Whiscash is trying its best to win us this game. Man, I should have just shielded my Corviknight earlier, because now that I've seen this team, like, I've seen this team quite a few times recently, actually, so a little bit of a misplay on our end to have played it out this way. I have to no-shield. This Mud Bomb is going to hurt. Oh, they discharge again? That is such a misplay, I think. We're going to go for the superpower to do a little bit more raw damage. And now, at this point, it's going to be down to the wire. I don't know who's going to win this. They do shield, that makes sense. Or, alright. Because, like, I have energy here and on my Corviknight, which is good. But, we'll see. Because they probably switch here, right? And they just go for a move instantly. So I probably should have swapped as well. I'm not going to lie, that could have been a good play. But now I have another play I have to go for, where I need to come out of this matchup with a payback plus an air cutter. Oh no, I was almost there! I had it, but the one Bug Bite knocked us out. That's on me. Alright, got a match here. That's a big up pair. Alright, Whiscash, can we win this one? Whiscash into Ufisk. Very good lead. We'll see what they have in the backline. There is that Ufisk double Bug Bite team that has been somewhat common recently, so if we do see a Bug Biter come in, which we don't, but if we did see a Bug Biter come in, then I would have considered going with my Corviknight and just trying to keep my Corviknight around for the second one. But we see this instead. And we actually land the Scald there. That means they're in payback range. And I'll always outpace them to paybacks here too, because my Corviknight is going to be able to... Well, I mean, a Scald's cheaper than payback, right? So we just outpace them there. And we should also survive 2 paybacks, which is pretty nice. So we'll see if they want to shield this. I'd be kind of surprised if they did, but, you know, Corviknight users, sometimes they value this Pokemon quite a bit. I know I'm one of those at times. But if I get a shield here, they're in a lot of trouble. Yeah, no, they let that go. I was going to say, if they shield that up, like, Malamar's not even that bad in the Ufisk, so I don't mind. Alright, Discharge might knock us out around now, but they actually let us get the payback off anyway. So they will get like 100 energy coming out of this matchup. I guess a little bit less than that, saying they're going to have to go for a Discharge here, but I should be able to chip them down into Foul Play range or Mud Bomb range, and that's pretty good. They could undercharge this, I guess, but that could be risky if they don't know exactly how much to undercharge it. We'll see what they do. Discharge does get undercharged. Really nice play, but they only get 1 extra Mud Shot, so it's really not like that impactful they did that, but it's not a bad play on their end either. Wow, that's a core breaker, I suppose. It had to be the Moltres. Actually, our whole team's kind of weak to this. Anyway, surely we're still in a playable spot here. The worst thing about this is I have no fast move pressure, right? But they do shield that up, and I get a debuff, which is interesting. I'm not going to shield this. I don't think they Brave Bird, right? So there's not really much of a reason for me to shield just yet. Yeah, they let that go. I'm going to go for a Foul Play here before they can switch out, just because I want to put them into Scald range. And if I put them into Scald range, then I should be able to go for a farm down. Oh, I get a shield there? It's also, I guess, maybe kind of smart on their part. We'll see, though. Okay. This game's going to get very interesting. They're going to go for a combo play here, certainly. Yeah, makes sense. But now I shield this up. I save my superpower. And as long as I'm careful with my Whiscash's energy, I should be in a pretty playable spot here. Alright. I don't really want to give a big farm down over to that Moltres. That's the big problem that I'm going to be facing right now. Okay. Can I get the Scald off before I take the Sucker Punch damage? And also, does my Malamar win CMP over the Moltres? I know it's kind of IV dependent. I think Malamar is generally favored, but, like, it could be a bad Moltres. And if they're a bad Moltres, they would win CMP if they get there. We'll see, though. We have a superpower. We have a Scald. So do we have enough in the tank here to win this game? We get a debuff. Good stuff, Whiscash. That's not going to matter at this point. Whiscash is really been popping off with some of these debuffs. I think we got one on that first Scald too, but they don't even have the attack, so the superpower just knocks out. Could have been a scary backline Pokemon. Luckily, while it isn't great for us, it's still playable, especially with how many advantages we had going into that, so not quite unplayable there in the endgame. Next battle. Hopefully we can keep on seeing some good leads here. I like the Ufisks that we're seeing. Oh no. Oh no. That is the opposite of that. I am a little bit soft to Altaria here with this team. Obviously my Corviknight's not amazing here either. Okay, and they bring in a Tinkaton, which I also don't love to see. But like maybe it's still playable. Especially if they do this, like it's a little bit better. Like not a lot better, but it's a little bit better if they let us go for a superpower first. Because this way, now I get a shield likely from them. I'm going to go for the CMP here just to try to either guarantee that this damage lands or potentially we get the shield. They let it go. Really? Okay, well, I'm going to save my Malamar then. I need my Malamar for the Altaria. They're at 10 right now, so if they bulldoze for some reason, they're at 5. But they're only at 3 if they go for that. So I should get the full farm down. And I can switch out into my Corviknight now. And while that's not a great matchup, I can clear my debuff. And I likely force him to stay in here. And it might be really bad. I'm just going to spam Air Cutters, though. I don't know if this is the right play or not, but I need to get some damage against this at some point. So we're going to go for it. And if I get a boost, that's helpful. Oh, they CMP us on a Flamethrower. Okay. At least we get some nice chip damage there. They're down to about 70% HP. And I do survive the fast move pressure here, so they'd have to go for like another charge attack to knock us out at some point. Try to catch on Empoleon. 5. All right. I mean, I think I shield this up. We'll see, though. When I switch, I can't just yet, but I need to bank this energy. And Whiscash needs somewhere to go, so it's just going to come in here, I guess. This is going to be an awkward game. Very awkward game. Because I do get knocked out here by the next Hydro Cannon, so I don't even get 2 attacks off into this. But at the very least, I should be able to put them into a little bit of an awkward spot, where they do have to throw energy here, or just let this go. And like, if they let this go, that might be a good play. But by doing that, they have to solely rely on Altaria against 3 Pokemon. So yeah, they actually do shield. And they overfarm a little bit there. That's also not a bad play on their part. They're at 1. This game's going to get so down to the wire. 2. 3? Uh-oh, did I throw in bad timing? I think I did. I don't love that I did that. That might lose us the game. As if it weren't already, like, really bad. Okay, they actually let that go. I'll switch out here, and I was going to hope that I could get a foul play off first, but no, they're already at a Sky Attack. Man, really bad team comp. Actually, like, almost as bad as it gets. They could have had a worse Pokemon for my Corviknight, but the fact that there was just a Tinkaton Altaria core, and they did not use a shield to keep switch, that's insane to me. Alright, next opponent. We'll see Whiscash up against a Shadow Altaria, so bit of a run back of the last game, but this time it's even scarier because it is a Shadow Pokemon. With that said, it is still playable as long as they, don't have a hard counter to us like the last game. And luckily, it looks like they haven't swapped out just yet, so landing this foul play is actually pretty nice. If I get the damage off here, then potentially Air Cutters and Scalds can be enough to knock out later on. And if they shield this up, then shields are down, or at least one shield would be down, and that wouldn't be bad for us either. Alright, they're likely going to go for a Sky Attack into us to try to get a shield back. Well, I mean, they haven't shielded yet, right? But just getting that damage that I got already into them is pretty beneficial. They're in almost Mud Bomb range, even. Okay. They come in Empoleon. I'm going to go for a foul play. They could no-shield this, I suppose, but I don't know how good of a play that would be for them. It's a pretty similar team to the last one that we just saw. 4, 5, 6. Alright. I'm always shielding this up. Because if I get shields down here, then that Altaria is really not that big of a threat. Again, they're at 6, so 1 away, or 1 past the Hydro Cannon. 9, so right now they have access to the Hydro Cannon with 1 more Metal Sound. I think we know what they're going to do this game, and it is a little bit annoying, but it makes a lot of sense. They're going to shield this up, they're going to go for the Hydro Cannon here, and then likely they're going to try to catch at some point. Alright, Hydro Cannon's going to come through them. I don't know why they waited there for a second, maybe it was lag, but we actually got an extra Mud Shot, which, very helpful. I'll take it. Does that actually not do that much damage to us? What the heck? Alright, we're just getting rid of this. We're getting rid of the Empoleon. I don't want it to be able to swap out and do anything whatsoever to my Corviknight, or just going for a Hydro Cannon into my other guy would be really bad. Wait, what? Did they bring in the Tinkaton? Okay, I mean, I think they lose either way, because I have a Corviknight in the back, but why would they bring an Altaria there? There were some odd decisions made. So we actually just fought the same team back-to-back? We won that one, because they didn't swap into Tinkaton into Malamar for some reason. Whiscash into Primarina. Wait a second, there's a Primarina user at the start of the season that got Legend with like a Primarina Aegislash team? I guess I could see that being the case here. We'll find out. Mudbomb's not going to one-shot. I mean, I know Primarina is squishy, but it's not that squishy, unfortunately. With that said, I think having access to so much, counter play into Aegislash isn't a bad thing. So, I guess I'll shield at least once here. And if they shield, I'll let my Whiscash go and farm down with the backline. Oh, Primeape comes in? 5. This might be a crazy shield, but I think they're going to go just straight for the close combat. They want to guarantee it. I think there's an Aegislash in the back. Yeah, so that's a good shield, honestly. It's going to be an interesting game if it is the Aegislash that I keep on hyping up, but Corviknight's a pretty good Pokemon into Aegislash in the endgame. And you can't really come in here with the Aegislash just yet, because, I mean, if you do come into Aegislash, you can't really do anything into Malamar. And if you do come back in Primarina, that's also not amazing for them, just because they're so low on HP that the Psywaves might just knock them out. And if they let the Primarina go, now they don't really have a way of swapping back into the other form. Or, okay, well, what if it's just like a completely different third Pokemon? I thought for sure. Dude, who runs Primarina in this meta? I thought Aegislash for sure was in the backline. Anyway, this should still be very good for us, because I have a Corviknight that walls this. And I think I survive a Sand Tomb, and I should get a second Foul Play off. Yeah, that's only a Sand Tomb, right? Maybe Aerial Ace if they're, for some reason, running that instead? But that's not enough for... Oh, Sand Tomb knocks us out. Okay, well, maybe I'm crazy. Here I am thinking we'd survive that. It doesn't necessarily matter, though. Whiscash is such a spammy Pokemon. We're already at 1 Scald, and we can threaten a second one here if they don't throw energy into us, right? And they're basically in payback range for a Corviknight. So, we should be good. Once again, I don't think this is Sand Tomb range, but last time I said that, we got knocked out by it, so it could be, I guess. Acro. Okay, yeah, I think they realized this time that wouldn't be enough, because Whiscash is actually significantly bulkier than the other guy there, the Malamar. Yeah, I mean, I know Gliscor has a couple of ways of kind of having play there, but not when it's at half HP, no shields in play. Yeah, not much they could do there. We'll take the win. All right, Whiscash into Diggersby. All right, well, we'll see what they do here. Again, a little bit of an awkward match, just because while I do have Water-type damage, I don't have it with my Fast Attack here. So we see a Safe Swap instantly into a Furo. Okay, well, I wall everything they do here with my Corviknight, which is pretty nice. Only problem being that my Sand Attacks don't do a lot of damage to them either. And I don't really two-shot with Air Cutter, so it's not as consistent as I'd like it to be. They are already really weak to Ice-type damage, though, by the way, so it's kind of hard to tell what they might have in the backline with this, but likely something that actually has play into Ice, I'd have to imagine. I have to hope, at the very least, that they do. Alright, Air Cutter, just because I think that's the play here. Especially with a boost, that's not bad. Because I do survive a move from this Pokemon right now. But I don't knock him out with an Air Cutter just yet. So, okay, they go for the instant Drill Peck. But I think this is fine, because I don't necessarily need Switch, not as much as they do. And I'd rather not give much of a farm down to that Diggersby. So we'll just go for the payback now. They'll get maybe like 2 or 3 Mudshots out of this matchup, but, not too many. And then maybe... Oh, they shield? Crazy. That's also fine by me. Shadow Malamar is just going to come in and do its thing. I just shield once, farm down, have a lot of energy here. And if Diggersby comes in, I can just try to one-shot that thing. It could be like, dude, if there's an Altaria in the backline, I really have to question their team building, because what the heck would they do against a single Ice type? I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, yeah, Diggersby comes in. Or I'm going to go for the Foul Play first, just because at this point, Foul Play does not debuff me. And I think a Foul Play plus a Superpower will knock out over time. Okay. Threat of Scorching Sands. I'm going to shield this up. I don't know if a Superpower would have quite knocked out just yet. And I feel like a Togekiss in the backline right now. I don't know why, but that's screaming to me as the Pokemon that it's going to be. So I'm going to play it safe there and save some fast move pressure with my Malamar, because while this isn't a great matchup into Togekiss, it is still more playable than you'd expect. Oh. Well, it's a Jellicent. Wait, we're just fine then. Okay, Malamar is just good into their team. I guess they do have an Ice-type counter. That's good to see. I was not expecting them to for some reason. They shield the first, which is also kind of crazy, because like I can just save a non-debuffed foul play now for the backline. And even Whiscash here, thanks to the fact that I'm running Mud Bomb, I have a lot of play. They need 2 charge attacks to knock us out. 2 Mud Bombs will come close to KOing them. Only lose condition I can see is if somehow, like, I lag a turn with my Malamar, I'm not able to bring it in, and, like, then I don't get my foul play off, but, like, literally at this point, if foul play just knocks them out, we should be fine. Yeah, and Mud Bomb's gonna 2-shot them if they don't throw energy soon. So we'll see if they go for the Surf here. I think they are at back-to-back Surfs right now. So technically, they do have that 1-turn lag win condition. Oh, no, they don't. Gels instead. Nice, I'll take that too. All right, Shadow Whiscash into Togekiss. Pretty bad lead matchup. And you might be wondering why I'm about to do this, but I'm bringing in my Malamar here. Malamar is actually, in my opinion, my best counter to Togekiss on my team. Because, as you can see here, the fast moves are doing way too much damage. I wish I could tell you why they do this much, but for some reason, they just add up so quickly against Togekiss. And if I build up energy here, I can make it so potentially they can't switch out. And I'll foul play now. I'm fine if they let this go. I guess if they let this go, I just kind of 2-shield my Malamar. And I have a lot of energy for the backline. I'm fine with that no-shield. I've done quite a bit already with my Malamar this game. I have the ability to likely get 2 moves off against whatever comes in here. So the fact that I'm down 2 shields doesn't matter that much, potentially. Alright, Shadow Quagsire comes in. Interesting Pokemon to see. I think the play is probably to bring in Corviknight. There is a chance it's like a Diggersby in the backline. Or, like a Ufisk. So I think that's why Corviknight's the better play here. They can get to 2 Aqua Tails first, or a Stone Edge if they just want to go for 1 attack, but I think going for 2 Aqua Tails is the better play. Okay. They throw here almost as soon as they can against us. I can overfarm a little bit, and I should be outside of range. The next Aqua Tail knocks us out anyway, so likely they just let their Quagsire go. Yeah, big Air Cutter. This will knock him out. This could also maybe get an attack boost. I haven't got too many boosts today with my Corviknight, but this would be amazing if I could get one. They let that go. All right. All this work. All of my hard work just to have a Gourgeist in the back. Togekiss, Gourgeist, Quagsire. Crazy team. Don't love seeing that. If I get a shield here, then maybe there's a chance that I can get a foul play off and win. Unfortunately for me, I don't think that's going to happen. A boost also would have been really nice. Oh, they actually do shield for some reason. Maybe there's a chance here then. All right, we get the foul play. I mean, I know I'm going to take a Seed Bomb on my Whiscash, but I'm pretty sure I survive 1 Seed Bomb, right? I've got to survive 1 Seed Bomb. I'm a Shadow Cash, that's not great. But, like, we'll see. How much damage does it do? Whiscash is kind of bulky. It's a Seed Bomb from a Gourgeist. It's not the best move in the game. Please tell me I survive it. But, like, that Togekiss is still around as well. They're throwing kind of bad timing here, so I'm only going to take 1 Incinerate before I get my Mud Bomb off. That hurts so much, though. I think they just have us here. We'll see what we can do, though. Maybe there's somehow a chance. I think we're just too low on HP. Whiscash is a trooper, but I think that the Mud Shots aren't going to do enough, and the Pecks just knock us out here. Oh, man, if the Mud Shot pacing was what it used to be, if it was 5-4 pacing, we just win that game. That right there is where I guess Quagsire would have come in clutch, right? We'd survive and get 2 Aqua Tails. Unfortunate. All right, next opponent. We'll see if we can win a lead here. That'd be nice. Whiscash into Shadow Typhlosion. Oh, that's a good lead if I had to say so. My backline doesn't love seeing this, but it's like not unplayable either. Okay, Whiscash comes in. Or, that's not a Whiscash, that's a Feraligatr. I know my Pokemon. Anyway, I think the play here is a Mud Bomb Chip and Dip and come in with my Corviknight. This way I can save my Malamar. Oh, well, if they want to go down shields, that's also fine by me. The best thing about this now is down shields. Typhlosion's not the most useful Pokemon in the game, right? And I should be able to survive 2 Hydro Cannons here. What if it's Meganium in the back? Triple Gen 2 starters. 8. Maybe I should bait here, but I didn't. So, we'll see what happens. Yeah, they do just full send. That's fine, though. because I get this air cutter off. That's also not terrible for us, right? They have a lot of energy on that for alligator. So we have to keep that in mind. But now Shadow Whiscash can come in here and hopefully go for like a full farm down. Although I don't know if we would get a full farm down, honestly. I'm going to let this go. Maybe it's a terrible play, but it's the play I'm making. A Blast Ring comes through. I'm actually going to just swap out now into my Malamar, because I think I Psywave down. I don't think I Mudshot down before another move's reached. So we'll just get that energy. Likely the Gator comes in. And we just shield this up. If they're at back-to-back here, then they will get their next move off first. If they're not, I can Foul Play. Okay, they are back-to-back. Didn't quite have the perfect counts here, not gonna lie. With that said, we still have a fully healthy Malamar, and we have energy on Whiscash. Five, okay. Interesting, we see a Tinkaton in the back line. If I can switch out here, I honestly don't hate this. Because we force energy almost immediately. And then I can clear my debuff, potentially get another superpower off into this Tinkaton, and then have a move for Alligator. We'll see, though. Go for the CMP on a Bulldoze, potentially. I think that we're going to be outside of Shadow Claw range, and they shouldn't be able to get a third Hydro Cannon off into us. I think we're fine, but it'll be close, just because Gator is a very spammy Pokemon. I try to overfarm as much as I could. I probably should have superpowered because it does do more raw damage, but I think Foul Play plus Psywaves will be enough anyway. Alright, Foul Play, please. Just knockout. Yeah, okay, we're good. We're good. That was an odd team. Luckily, Malamar is just the best Pokemon in the game. And Whiscash, I mean, it picked up a good lead, but Typhlosion's always kind of scary. Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, after playing Shadow Whiscash today, it is definitely just a bit of a downgrade to Shadow Quagsire. I think Whiscash still definitely works, and the best thing about it is you don't necessarily need an elite TM for it, but having that Aqua Tail pacing and Stone Edge coverage, I think is just so viable on the Quagsire that Whiscash is just kind of like a downgrade. But yeah, thank you for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.